Finally, Ron Santo is in. Did you know that he led the National League in on-base twice? Amazing. I guess it's better late than never. Congratulations to the Lansing, Illinois Redbirds. The Babe Ruth League teenagers are at Ohio Valley champs playing in the Final 10 in the United States. We wish them well. This week, we flash back to Michael Jordan playing, and we have the newest White Sox. We'll talk to him this week on the Spotlight. Check out my website, benkowski.com, for my weekly article and up-to-the-minute trivia sites. From wherever Chicago's sports teams are making news, this is the 23rd year of the Lansing Floral Sports Spotlight. Flowers for every imaginable occasion at Lansing Floral Shop. Call them at 708-474-1212. They deliver. You've got to get to the Dirty Sock, not only for Benkowski trivia when you go to 93rd and Roberts Road and play on Wednesday, August 8th, and again on the 22nd at 7:30, but for their excellent food and drinks and good people. Dirty Sock, 93rd and Roberts. Want to get a haircut from a great hairstylist? Call mine, Rose Murillo, 312-726-2201. With a 30-year Southwest Side tradition, Huck Finn is open 24 hours to serve you with great breakfasts like the Becky Thatcher, soups, great lunches, 1/3 pound burgers, clubs, and much more. Dinners from seafood to steaks to pasta, great donuts, and ice creams. With 3 locations at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Stop in today. You know Huck Finn is open. Tanks is a great place at 124th and Western. They have an outdoor beer garden. You'll never huff when you go there. They have beanbag games. They're open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m., Saturday, Sunday at noon. Watch Sox, Cubs, NFL daily specials, all kinds of stuff going on, and fun people at Tanks, 124th and Western.
Hi, my name is Rose, and I've been a skilled hairstylist for over 10 years. I specialize in men's haircuts and in corrective color. Come visit me at Salon 203 at 203 North LaSalle, 312-726-2201. And while you're at it, come in and get a shoe shine and a shave. It's a great place where a man can be a man. Since 1967, El Jardín has been serving the finest Mexican food. Before, after, or during ball games, located conveniently just 3 blocks south of Wrigley Field, 3335 North Clark. Whether there's a game or not, you still get hungry, and El Jardín has great service, great food, and great drinks. I've enjoyed every meal I've had there, and you will too. So get to El Jardín for great Mexican food at 3335 North Clark Street in Chicago. You'll be glad you did. We're back in the Spotlight. We're talking White Sox pitching. And pleased to say that Kenny Williams continues an aggressiveness and trying to build this 2012 team into a postseason team. Off to a great start, but and a bit of a struggle coming off their initial post-All-Star road trip. Brett Myers is with the team now. He'd been a versatile pitcher for the Houston Astros, but with that team going absolutely nowhere, they're sellers in the 2012 market. And of course, the White Sox and as many as 16 other teams are buyers. Teams with winning records, teams vying for at least a wild card. So we talked to Brett Myers about coming to Chicago and what he knows about the city and the roster.
Kind of been a whirlwind for you here in the last 48 hours.
Yeah, it's been a tough 48 hours. So it's everything happening fast. So just trying to keep the head up and keep going and try to get the stuff done that I need to get done so I can relax here.
What enables you to adjust to any role? You're a starter, then you're a closer, now probably start out here as a setup guy.
I don't know. I like pitching. Just give me the ball. It doesn't matter what role I'm in. And I'm just ready to go help the team win.
Brett, how did it feel moving up in the standings?
Well, it felt good. I mean, you hate to leave your teammates that you've had, for the last couple of years behind. But when you're going to a winning team, you're going to make new teammates and new friends, and it's always a lot more fun when you're winning.
What do you know about the White Sox other than having pitched against them recently?
Not much. I'm still getting used to it right now. Still meeting the right people, and just met the GM, and so we're getting there.
Yeah, obviously you have some history with Adam Dunn, having pitched against him. As good a guy as there is, so I'm sure welcome wagon is out for you.
Yeah, I actually, texted him just to get a feel for what I was going to be experiencing, coming over here. And he told me it's a great group of guys and great clubhouse, and we're going to have fun. So I was ready for that.
What's your typical repertoire as a closer? How's that changed from when you were a starter, brother?
It hasn't really. It's just more mentality. You got to have the right mentality to go out there and pitch an inning, and starting, you're trying to go deep into the game, and when you're relieving, you got to come in and get the job done quick.
But that's going to be your role. It's going to be the bullpen. There's no way in the world they can stretch you out as a starter at this stage, right?
I assume so. I mean, that's what they've told me. That's what they traded me for, just go and helping the young guys in the bullpen, and be with Crane and Thornton down there.
Has Coop talked to you about what they expected? Don Cooper.
You are new.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, he talked to me a little bit. Just yesterday. I just talked my first day was yesterday, so I'm still trying to get acquainted with everybody here and the names and everything like that. So I'm sure there'll be more in-depth conversations today than there was yesterday.
Anything different about? I mean, you pitch a lot of interleague, so not all the hitters are a mystery. But is there a positive one way or another for pitcher or hitter when a guy changes the leagues?
I don't know. I mean, sometimes it works to your advantage. They haven't seen as much of you as the other league has. So I mean, it could work out that way. But these guys are professionals and they'll adapt, and we'll have to see what happens.
You like to work practically every day. You probably didn't get that kind of pace with the Astros. You're probably behind a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I worked. I like working every day. I mean, I like getting out there and doing my job. If we're going to win a ball game, I definitely want the ball, and hopefully that'll happen here.
The most difficult thing it seems for players traded during the season is, uprooting the family situation. It seems like, that's the number one concern is how can I be with my family? How can I see them? And I mean, is it no different with you?
I mean, yeah. I mean, you got to worry about getting all your stuff from out of the other city and moving it to another city. So it's just it's a lot of work, and you got to depend on your wife a little bit more than normal, and hopefully she can help out and while I try to do my job here.
In your early roots of baseball, who were some of the teams that maybe you liked growing up, or pitchers that you emulated?
Well, I mean, teams, you got WGN here, and that's always on in my hometown. So it's the Cubs, White Sox, and obviously TBS with the Braves. So, I mean, that's teams I grew up watching. So,
one thing that they projected for you when they traded you is to help the younger pitchers. This is one of the youngest bullpens in the majors.
Yeah, I just left one of those, I thought, but these guys are, coming out and doing the job and getting the job done, and I think that they're confident in their stuff, and just with talking with them yesterday, I think that everybody's got their feet on the ground and they're ready to win some ball games.
What advice would you give them? What advice would you give them as a veteran to handle?
Well, if I told you that, then everybody else would know.
Right.
Especially if you told them.
For Chicago baseball fans who don't know a lot about you, can you tell them about you both as a player and person?
I don't know. You asking me to be a psychologist for myself now?
No, just the type of pitcher you are, who you are as a pitcher, who you are as a person.
Well, I mean, I look at myself and go out there and do the job. I mean, I don't like failure, but this game is, based around failure. But I don't like to fail. I like to work hard, and I like to get the job done.
Brett, the Astros have already made a lot of deals already. Did you anticipate being traded by them? And was Chicago even on the radar at any time?
I honestly had no idea. I had no idea what was going on. So it's, it was kind of, it wasn't really like a shock because they did a big deal the day before, but I was surprised that it happened so quickly after the big deal the day before. But other than that, I don't think I was really shocked that it was going to happen at some point.
Welcome.
Milano's Pizza at 109th and Western is the place to order from, like I do. Lasagna, chicken parm, Italian beef, and stuffed pizza besides the thin crust. They're open Monday through Wednesday at 3 p.m., Thursday through Saturday 11 a.m., and Sunday at noon. Call them at 773-445-4010. Come play in the area's classiest billiard center, Jukebox Billiards, 7910 Calumet Avenue in Munster, 2 blocks south of 8094. Selling the most famous names of pool tables and billiard equipment. Specializing in table recovery and moving of tables. A complete pro shop with the most brand names of cues and cases. Celebrating over 20 years, excellence, top billiard tables, the place where the action is, Jukebox Billiards, 7910 Calumet in Munster. You've got to get to Shelton Fireworks, the world's largest warehouse,
off Interstate 94, exit 22B in Porter, Indiana. Row after row of the best fireworks anywhere, from the little ones to the grand finales that'll end your show. Birthdays, anniversaries, graduations, in addition to the 4th of July. Just get over there to Shelton Fireworks now. Then you can reload by the time summer comes. Shelton Fireworks, I-94, exit 22B in Portage. Bring your car to Quick Stop Muffler and Brake at 95th and Pulaski, and they'll fix it right. They also do shocks and struts, free estimates. Call them at 708-423-3700. They're very thorough in their work, and they have very competitive pricing. Quick Stop Muffler and Brake, 95th and Pulaski.
We're back on the spotlight. It's time to talk more White Sox, and let's take it from the top. This trading scenario of July and August, where the teams that are in the race make deals with teams who are not in the race, comes to a head. And General Manager Kenny Williams has been super active in recent years, making late deals to get his team over the top and into the postseason. This is no different. The Youkilis and Myers trades are certainly intensely helpful, and Kenny's still looking, as he'll explain. Kenny had his first problems on Twitter with the Guillen family, and now says,
"Oh, really? Oh, you know, I've got a lot of things to worry about sitting in this chair, and I decided long ago that Twitter wasn't going to be one of them. I can't control it. You know, the social media is what it is, and you know, I think it's a waste of energy. You know, is it frustrating sometimes? You know, it's sitting in these, you know, in the spot. Yeah, of course it is, but you can't worry about it.
Can you, a week to the trading deadline, you went from on top to 8.5 back. Is there any way in the world you can envision changing your mindset where you all of a sudden became a seller instead of a buyer that you just were?
Oh, hell no. Hell no. This team's got some resiliency. They, you know, Robin came into my office before he got dressed today, and we had a great conversation about the mood of the club, the energy of the club, you know, the overall attitude, and these guys are still grinding it out, and you know, they need to maybe loosen up, lighten up a little bit on themselves, and recognize what they've accomplished up to this point and have a little fun with it. You know, a lot of people thought that, or didn't think that we would be in this position right now, and if we just kind of look at it from that standpoint, then you know, it's a nice spot to be in as we head into August here. Whether it's a game and a half up or game and a half back, ultimately you got to close it out anyway. Is it nice to be in first place and be chased? Absolutely. You know, but it's our time to do a little chasing right now.
Is it your? Well, it's always been that you guys have been among the most aggressive people when it was out there for you. Would it be naive to think that you guys would continue to be aggressive going up to the trading deadline and beyond, try to add to this team?
No, it would not be naive. I don't know what the probability, you know, of us doing something impactful is. I mean, we think that we've, you know, added a couple of pieces that will be impactful for the next few months, you know, as is. But whether or not we can do something else, I don't know.
Can your next move most likely be a bat or an arm?
Well, I don't know where you'd play if you brought a bat in here. Number one, getting an impactful bat at this stage of the game is very difficult, and the options are dwindling as far as pitching goes as well. You don't, if it's not an impact type player, you don't want to disrupt what we've got going on and the guys that have gotten you to this point.
Kenny, seemingly over the years, you've been able to always find a veteran pitcher at this time of the year for the bullpen. You've got Brett Myers here. Can you talk a little bit about him and how he'll add to the club?
Well, you know, one of the things that we were after was obviously a guy who is a veteran, but a guy who can mix in his pitches to the degree that if Robin deems the matchup favorable enough, he can bring him in, and here's a guy who can add and subtract off his pitches a little bit. We've got a lot of power arms in that bullpen right there, but I thought we needed a guy who could locate a little bit, who could throw a pitch 3-1 in the count and throw a breaking ball, or keep somebody off balance, to the degree that I think you need to sometimes late in the game, and that has an aggressive attitude. He fits right in with
and we'll have more of Kenny next week right here on the Spotlight. With a 30-year Southwest Side tradition, Huck Finn is open 24 hours to serve you with great breakfasts like the Becky Thatcher, soups, great lunches, 1/3 pound burgers, clubs, and much more. Dinners from seafood to steaks to pasta, great donuts, and ice creams. With 3 locations at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Stop in today. Huck Finn is open. You've got to get to Lansing Floral Shop. Open at 8 a.m. daily. Besides a great array of live flowers, they have custom silks, Bridgewater candles. They want you to plan your parties early at a wide delivery area. They're located at 3420 Ridge Road in Lansing, or you can call 708-474-1212. Weddings, funerals, birthdays, anniversaries, and guys, try the No Reason flower. Believe me, it works. Lansing Floral Shop. Give them a call, 708-474-1212. George's Sports Bar is not a secret anymore. 5407 West 95th Street, just a couple of blocks off Central. They have $1 Bud bottles Tuesday and Thursday, $1.50 domestic Sunday and Wednesday. They have a DJ on Friday. They have golden tea, and they have a very cool mini bowling alley at 5407 West 95th. Get there. Come play in the area's classiest billiard center, Jukebox Billiards, 7910 Calumet Avenue in Munster, 2 blocks south of 8094. Selling the most famous names of pool tables and billiard equipment. Specializing in table recovery and moving of tables. A complete pro shop with the most brand names of cues and cases. Celebrating over 20 years. Excellence. Top billiard tables. The place where the action is. Jukebox Billiards, 7910 Calumet in Munster.
We're back in the spotlight at the Met Center in Minnesota, and certainly this is unfriendly territory for Chicago fans. But the Bulls have had some trouble, but the fans are very friendly. A dominant place, the Chicago Stadium. The problem started last Friday night against the San Antonio Spurs. In the first quarter, Michael Jordan was up to his old tricks. You've seen this move, well, maybe something like it, when he takes it to the hoop and spins around and scores and gets fouled. The Bulls led by 2 at the quarter. But the Spurs have some big people, and they started to wear them down. Sean Elliott, who had 25 in the game, with the jam. San Antonio led by 5 at the half. Then Mr. Robinson's neighborhood. Watch the alley-oop and the slam. Spurs up by 18, but David can make a mistake. This erroneous foul from behind helps Michael with a 3-point play. Bulls cut it to 10 in the fourth. Scottie Pippen then with a spectacular play. Watch him now on the fine defense. He'll get the steal. Then, incidentally, he finished with 32 on the day. Gets the 3. Bulls cut it to 100-99, and the fans go nuts. But David Robinson was very, very clutch down the stretch. That Navy discipline, he hits the free throws, and San Antonio wins it. Final Spurs 110, Bulls 107. David, when you hit those key free throws down the stretch and you had a couple of pairs, you looked ultra relaxed up there, and a couple of us at the press table said it's that Navy discipline. How much of that helps you these days?
It helps me a great deal. I think really it helps me train. It helps me everything. And now when I try to visualize some things, I go up to the line at the end of the game. It's just like practice, and I just try to settle down and hit the shot. And I'm so much more confident because of the way that I train and the way that I learn. So I think it's helped me a great deal.
But we know we're very capable of beating this team. We had some close battles with them, and I just think that we had a couple of lapses where we gave them a good head start, and we had to fight ourselves back into the ball game. If we come out and play a good 48-minute basketball, we have a better chance of beating them.
Any thoughts about the rough crowd reaction on Stacy?
No, I mean, this crowd in Chicago is tough. All they want to see you do is play good, hard basketball, and when you talk about wanting to get out of here, I think they take it to heart.
Fans are going to have their perspective on things that go on, and I think this is just a learning experience for me. It's sort of like a punishment, you know, for my little actions, and I accepted, you know, it was something that I thought was childish on my part, and it's now I'm paying for it with the crowd, so I'm not going to really let it affect me.
How do you win them back?
Get them back, yeah. Oh, you just got to just play hard, you know. I was out there playing hard tonight, so, you know, eventually, you know, it's going to take some time, you know, because I think they're still upset with me, and I'm a young player, so, you know, I'm just going to continue to work hard and do positive things, and, you know, hopefully I can win them back. You know, if not, you know, I'm going to still work hard.
Linda Martin was working hard when she covered the Bulls and Sixers last Sunday. Michael Jordan's steal in the early basket put the Bulls up front. And then the pass to Scottie Pippen, 28-22 Chicago after one. But Hersey Hawkins, a native Chicagoan from Westinghouse, played a role, the long jumper, and Philly was on the comeback trail. Armin Gilliam, the intimidator, inside. The Sixers were coming back strong. Then Ron Anderson, the long jump shot. And Philly was definitely back in the game. It would go to overtime, but key plays like this. And Philadelphia wins it 114-111.
We really we did a good job, especially in light of the fact that they made a big run on us in the middle of that second quarter when they stole the ball and they got open floor to get up, 14 points or whatever. So the fact that we got it back tight at half gave us a chance. And then Hawkins, I thought, was magnificent in the overtime.
In that run, Grant got in foul trouble and they took him out. How important was that at that point?
Well, I wasn't about to feel sorry for them with Grant in foul trouble.
Everyone thought it was going to be the absence of Barkley that made the difference, but actually it was the presence of Hawkins.
Well, Hawkins, as I said, he came up huge in the overtime. And I think Ron Anderson had a big game for us, and Armin Gilliam. You know, with Charles not here, we need people to step up. And I thought offensively, those three guys in particular did an excellent job.
Scotty, what a surprise to us all. We thought that the game was yours with the absence of Barkley.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're a team with, you know, guys that can attack with scores, and guys like Hawkins and Ron Anderson. You know, we're expecting them to come out and have a good game, and it caused some problems for us. Anderson got going late in the game, and then Hawkins started attacking. So, I mean, the dribble penetration really sort of hurt us today.
You really had a fierce fourth quarter.
Well, yeah, I was trying to attack, you know, and try to, you know, make them play some defense on the other end. But, you know, in overall point, they were the better team today.
I eat the pasta twice just...
Salerno's Restaurant and Pizzeria at Grand and Racine is the place to go before United Center Pavilion, Bulls, Hawks, Cubs, and Sox too. Dine in or carry out with great family recipes, including homemade pastas, steaks, seafood, a great fun bar area. Meet people. Have a tremendous time. At Salerno's Restaurant and Pizzeria, Grand and Racine, you'll find a great variety of foods for you to enjoy at Salerno's. Go play at Red Shoes Billiards, 12009 South Pulaski in Alsip, featuring 16 Brunswick Gold Crown pool tables, drop fluorescent lighting fixtures, and the fabulous grade of cloth. Call 708-388-3700. That's Red Shoe Billiards, 12009 South Pulaski. Kelly's Tavern has Benkowski Trivia at 44th and Wallace, Friday, July 27th at 8 p.m., and again August 17th at 8 p.m. Come out and play. Bring your friends. Have a good time. It's always a riot. Sometimes we even play outside. At Kelly's Tavern, 44th and Wallace. Have fun there. Meet people. Have a couple libations. You'll enjoy yourself. At Kelly's Tavern, 44th and Wallace. Lindy's Chili, Gertie's Ice Cream at 110th and Kedzie has it all. From fresh-made burgers, fries, hot dogs, chicken, turkey, Polish, shrimp, tuna, barbecue, ham, tamales, quesadillas. They've got salads and plenty of ice cream with sundaes, banana splits, and seasonal favorites. Get all these things at Lindy's Chili, which is where I start, but I always get a little something extra, at 110th and Kedzie. We flash back to 1988, show number 10, 24 years ago, and it's Goose Gossage as a Cub talking about life with various teams.
Walking to the mound and my legs were actually shaking and banging together. And I thought, somebody said hi to me and I don't even know if I could have answered him or told him my name. It was that type of a feeling. But I went on and ended up, it was 5-2, I believe. And I came in the ball game and ended up making it 5-4. Piniella makes a great play in right field. He should have gotten the save that day, really, because he made such a terrific play. The sun in Boston is probably the worst sun in right field at that time of day as there is in any ballpark in the country. And he made a spectacular play in right field. I believe it was on, I'm not sure whose ball it was. I can't even remember who was hitting. All I remember is when Yastrzemski came up, I had runners on first and third, 2 outs, and this is going to be, this is going to be the ball game. And I thought, I stepped off the mound and I thought, off the rubber, and I thought, hey, this isn't me. I've always played the game for fun. I've always enjoyed the game for the beauty of it and the love of it. And I thought, this is crazy to be feeling like this, all this pressure. I said, what's the worst thing that can happen to me? And I thought to myself, here I am talking to myself out on the mound, And I thought, heck, the worst thing that can happen to me is I'll be back in Colorado tomorrow. And, right then it just felt like the weight of the world had been lifted off my shoulders. And I think that everyone that goes through a pressure situation, or anybody that has a real pressure job, it's one of those things where you have to put things into perspective of what's really important. And I thought, this is just a game. It's not a life or death situation. And it just felt like the weight of the world had been lifted off my shoulders. And I think that I got to put another foot on the fastball.
And what he's not telling you, folks, is that before that was all over, he had gotten Carl Yastrzemski, a future Hall of Famer, to hit a pop-up to his buddy third baseman Greg Nettles, and the Yankees were on their way into the American League Championship Series. You were out for a few months.
Well, it was just one of those things where it was after a ball game and we'd lost a tough one, and Cliff was sitting right across the locker from me, and Reggie walked by, and I'd taken some tape off that was holding up my socks. And
Reggie Jackson.
Reggie Jackson walked by, and he says, "Hey, Goose, how did Cliff do against you in the National League?" And I just joked. I said, "Well, he couldn't hit what he couldn't see, And nothing was, everybody laughed. It was in hearing distance, and I guess Cliff didn't like that too much. So I took, I undressed, and when I was going to take a shower, and stopped off to go to the bathroom on the way, and so here's Cliff tapping me on the shoulder, and he says, "You think you can back that crap up?" I said, "Well, what do you mean?" I thought he was kidding at first. So then he hit me, and then the fireworks started, and we got in a fight, and they broke it up once, and then it started again, and we fell against the wall, and we fell down. Cliff was on top of me, and I put my right hand down to brace my fall.
And Goose Gossage was a key part of the 1972 White Sox being honored each Sunday this season. This week's show brought to you by the Lansing Floral Shop. Call for your flowers at 708-474-1212. Huck Finn, a great wide-ranging menu, along with donuts and ice cream. Open 24 hours at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. In-print graphics, leaders in booklet, perfect bound, saddle stitch. Very competitive pricing. Call 708-396-1010.